There is a state of perpetual motion that feels like progress, but leads nowhere. A runner on a treadmill, expending enormous effort, sweating, breathing heavily, yet ending in the exact same place they began. This isn't just a metaphor for exercise. For many, it is the blueprint of their entire financial life. We are conditioned to believe that activity equals achievement, that being busy with our money is the same as building wealth. But what if the most sophisticated traps aren't mistakes of laziness, but of misguided effort? What if the very things you do to get ahead are the walls of your own financial prison? These are the illusions of progress. 3 psychological traps that mimic the feeling of financial momentum, while secretly cementing you in place. And the first illusion is perhaps the most seductive, because it feels like control. Illusion number 1. The cult of trivial optimization. This is the relentless focus on minimizing small, insignificant expenses. The hours spent comparing coffee brands to save 30 cents, driving across town to save $2 on gas, or managing complex spreadsheets that track every single penny. On the surface, this appears disciplined, frugal, smart. The mind receives a small, satisfying reward, a dopamine hit, for having saved money. It creates a powerful, tangible sense of being in command of one's finances. But this feeling of control is a mirage. The mental energy, the willpower, the sheer amount of time invested in these micro-decisions is a finite resource. And it's being catastrophically misallocated. While you are celebrating $1 saved on groceries, the truly transformative opportunities are passing by, completely unnoticed. The time you spent optimizing pennies could have been spent learning a skill to increase your income by thousands. The hours spent hunting for coupon codes could have been used to start a side business. The focus on the trivial becomes a shield, protecting us from the intimidating scale of what truly matters. Earning more, investing boldly, and making big, uncomfortable decisions. It's not about being wasteful. It's about understanding leverage. It's about recognizing that saving 10% on a coffee is noise. Negotiating a 10% raise on your salary, that is signal. The second illusion is more subtle. It preys not on our desire for control, but on our desire to feel intelligent. Illusion number 2. The lure of safe complexity. This is the belief that a sophisticated financial strategy must be a superior one. It manifests as over-diversification, owning dozens of niche ETFs with tiny allocations. It's chasing convoluted insurance products disguised as investments, or building elaborate options strategies that generate more stress than profit. The allure is undeniable. Understanding and deploying a complex strategy makes us feel like an insider. It feels like we have unlocked a secret that the average person has missed. It's a form of intellectual status. But complexity is often a hiding place for fees. It's a breeding ground for analysis paralysis. And most critically, it often underperforms the brutally simple alternative. Consider the simple act of consistently investing in a single, low-cost, broad-market index fund. It requires little thought. It feels unsophisticated. It is, to some, boring. Yet, over decades, this simple, boring strategy has outperformed the vast majority of complex, actively managed funds and the convoluted portfolios of retail investors who try to outsmart the system. The illusion is that you are managing risk through complexity. The reality is that you are often just diluting your returns and paying more for the privilege of feeling smart. True wisdom is not found in mastering complexity, but in leveraging simplicity. This leads to the third and most modern illusion, one born from the age of infinite information. Illusion number 3. Confusing learning with doing. This is the trap of endless consumption of financial content, mistaken for action. Every podcast listened to, every book read, every video watched, provides a small hit of dopamine. The brain registers the acquisition of new knowledge and rewards you for it. It feels productive. It feels like you are getting closer to your goals. But knowledge without implementation is a form of entertainment. It's like reading a library of manuals on how to build a house, but never laying a single brick. You become a brilliant theorist of wealth with an empty bank account. This illusion is a defense mechanism against the fear of failure. As long as you are still in the learning phase, you can never fail. The one more video or one more book becomes an excuse to delay the first, terrifying step of actually investing money, starting the business, or asking for the raise. Action is where the risk lies, but it is also the only place where the reward is. The information you need to start is almost certainly less than you think. The rest is learned through the process of doing. Passive consumption creates the illusion of preparation. Active application creates reality. You must be willing to close the book, turn off the video, and take a small, imperfect action in the real world. The illusion of control through trivial optimization. The illusion of sophistication through needless complexity. The illusion of preparation through passive consumption. These are the invisible currents that hold us in place. They are seductive because they are comfortable. They protect us from the large, frightening decisions that truly define our financial destiny. It is easier to debate the cost of coffee than to ask for a raise. It is easier to build a complex spreadsheet than to make one simple, large investment. And it is far easier to watch another video about starting a business than to actually register the domain name and make the first call. But true progress is not found in motion. It is found in traction. The antidote to these illusions is a conscious shift in focus. A shift from the small to the significant, from the complex to the simple, and from the theoretical to the practical. It requires asking a different set of questions. Not, how can I save $5 today? But, what one action can I take this week to increase my income? Not, what is the most complex investment vehicle? But, what is the simplest, most effective way to begin? Break the addiction to feeling productive and begin the journey of being effective. Step off the treadmill. Acknowledge that the feeling of progress and the reality of progress are not the same thing. The most dangerous financial prison is the one you mistake for the open road.